Hi everybody, welcome back to the Campus Creators Podcast. My name is Mia. I'm the event coordinator for Campus Creators here at SJMC, and today we have a very, very special guest.
It's me. I'm the special guest.
Today we're sitting down with someone who is really just the glue of our whole club. She's more than an advisor, she's an inspiration. Please welcome Sarah Shields.
Hello. How's it going?
Good.
I just had you in class like a couple hours ago.
Yes, you did. And it was a very, very exciting bootstrap class.
Yes.
But besides class, can you give us a quick introduction of you and your career history?
Yeah. So I started when I was 12. There was a veterans video editing contest, and I already kind of liked video editing because I would like take the travel videos that my dad would do with his like tape camera, and I would make like little compilation edits with it. They were like 30 minutes long. Obviously, you wouldn't do that now, but so I kind of was interested in editing, and I entered the contest and got first place. And so like as a 12-year-old, $100 was like freaking awesome. And so that kind of like, I guess, grew my confidence where I was like, okay, this is good enough to like win first place in something. Then I was on yearbook staff, and so I did like a lot of photography. I was also on the video announcements. I don't know if like y'all had that at your school where they would play like the video announcements. So I helped like produce those. I was an anchor for them, filmed a lot of the stuff, did a lot of the editing. And so I kind of always like had that creativity from like 12 years old into high school, carried it into college. So I did like freelancing all through college. And previously, like I actually wanted to be a web developer, but then realized that I really do like the video side of stuff and the photography side of stuff. I love the creativity. I still love web design too. Hence, like I teach the web design classes. And so while I still do that, I do still do all the photography, videography stuff with my own business. So I have my own business called Pixels Creative Media. I mostly do like wedding films, graduation shoots, all sorts of different stuff, a lot of events. Used to do a lot of concert work. Then COVID happened, and so kind of took a pause on that because concerts weren't really happening, and I was like, I think I should shift. So I kind of made some changes there, but really I've kind of done a lot of all the industries with photography and videography.
So you're a master of very many talents. You have a broad range of experience, but what would you say your niche is? Like what is it that you love to do the most?
Yeah, the one that I do the most, and then also that I love doing the most, is weddings. Like they're just always so fun. Like everybody's always having a good time, and then like you're naturally having a good time. So I would say probably the wedding industry is one of the favorite things to film.
And is it more so like photography, videography? Like what is it about? Like what aspect of it is it that you like the most?
I prefer video. Now photography is easier, right? Because I mean, as far as like the post-production side of it, like you throw it in a Lightroom, you make the edits and stuff like that. While it still can be tedious, it's kind of no match for video editing, right? Like you have to cut to the music, you have to find the perfect song, which takes like an hour sometimes. Like y'all probably know the drill if you've ever done video editing. And so I think I love like more of the challenge with the video editing and what comes with that, because it's like there are so many moving parts.
Yeah, just like there's so many components, and then when you get a beautiful outcome, it's like wow, like it just feels good to have that product.
Yeah, and then also to get like kind of the recognition too, where it's like the client's like, oh my gosh, like you told our story so beautifully, and then I'm like, oh, my job is done. I finally did it.
Yes, I like your story. I was in yearbook. I feel like that's a common theme with a lot of creatives here, especially in SJMC. I was in yearbook, and I just remember my favorite part was like I did sports photography. I was one of the sports editors for my yearbook, and I just remember being able to capture like a raw moment, raw emotion, and just like showing the people and like putting it in the yearbook and like hearing so much like recognition and being like wow, like you guys did such a good job with this. It was like fulfilling, like wow, like this is what I do, like I get to do this, and it's I just love it.
Yeah, I don't know if whenever you were on yearbook, like you put your name at the bottom for the page you designed. I was going back through my old yearbooks, and I was like, I made this page too, and it was just so cool to see that it was like I did this when I was like in high school, right?
Even 3 years later, now that like I'm literally almost the exact same age, or not the exact same age, but the same like period of time into like college as I was into high school and creating that yearbook, I'm like wow, like I've changed so much as a person and improved so much as a creative, but it's also like I can give myself my flowers from like that time and just be like wow, like I did so much, and I'm just so proud of myself from like what I was able to do. At what moment did you realize, oh, I want to do this, I want to pivot into this area of media?
Well, first, I guess it started with I wanted my career I wanted to be a vet. I was like, I love animals. It's the perfect job for me. And then I was like, I don't know. I think my heart is too big for that. Like, I would probably be crying for like all the more sad stuff. And so with the creative stuff, like when you're doing photography and videography, like you don't really like run into that stuff. Like things can kind of get like emotional and sentimental. But I think it was like the exact point when I realized I wanted to do it was probably in college. Because I was doing a lot of freelancing in college, and so I was doing like graduation shoots. I kind of dabbled in wedding films like early on. Wasn't like that great whenever I was in college. And so it was like when I was working with clients and they were like, we love your work, we love working with you. There was like so much, it was like a really rewarding feeling. And so I think in those moments I was like, yeah, this is what I'm meant to do.
This is what you're meant to do. And I feel like that's especially like kind of crawled into our community and our club and everything. Like I when you reach us with a project or with an idea, I can tell that you lead it with so much passion, with so much like joy, and I love that about having you as an advisor. Like I feel like a lot of the glue in our community is you. Like you carry lots of ideas and lots of like passion into what you do, and I love that about having you as an advisor.
Yay.
Like, when did you get the idea for the club? Like, what sparked it? What started that?
I think I had always had it in the back of my mind, even whenever I was in college, because it was like, I mean, you know this, like up until the club, it is really hard to find your community. Like the people that also do the video stuff, the photo stuff. And you know, it's like sometimes you run into people in the industry and you're like, man, they're kind of rude. And like, you don't want to be a part of that community. But I felt like whenever I was in college, I was like, I wish that I had like close friends or at least a community that I could like learn about this stuff with, not through like classes or anything like that or through YouTube. Like I wanted to really practice that kind of stuff with other people, people that were interested in what I was interested in. And so really like I had that in the back of my mind through college, and I was like, I wish we had a club for that. Even whenever I became a professor here, I was like, how do we still not have this club?
Yes.
Like I was dreaming of this when I was in college. And so I talked to a couple students that I had in multiple classes over a couple years, and they were also creatives, and they would always show me their work and stuff like that. And I was kind of like a mentor to them almost, where I would just like kind of give them advice and stuff like that, or like tell them about like, this is the camera you should be using, or these are the settings you should do, stuff like that. And so with those students, I talked to them in class, and after class had gotten out, I was like, hey, would you want to start a club with me? Like, I'll be the advisor. You could be the president. Like, it'd be so cool. I was like, we should do this. Like, for real, we should do this. Yeah. And we kind of like sat on that for a couple weeks. And then I was like, okay, we really have, like, I'm not even kidding. We have to do this. Yeah. Like, we got to make it happen. Yeah. And then so me and Reese, who was our previous president, we got to work, and we were like, okay, we got to get this thing started. Like, I'll be the advisor, but we got to get other people in the club. We need officers.
Get it off the ground.
Yeah. And so that was in fall 2024. So it was just an idea, and we kind of like piloted it. It wasn't like official yet, but I was like, let's get like a session or a workshop put together and see if there's even any interest before we actually like full launch a club. And so we kind of like did this workshop under the name of the club. We like came up with the name Campus Creators. And there was like a decent turnout, and I was like, okay, people are interested in this stuff. So like what I was thinking this whole time is like totally valid. And then I was like, all right, we got to get officers now. And so then I like reached out to some people. Dale sent me some recommendations for like awesome students. He was like, you should really like talk to this person about being, an officer for this position or whatever. And then we got a little team together, and then the rest is history.
The rest is history. Yeah, I remember I actually just told Livy this like right before we shot this, but the way that I found out about the club was through Dale. I had been sitting on the same thought you had. How do we not have a space for these creatives and these people that have the same like interests? And I was like, I'm gonna ask Dale if he knows like about any sort of like photography, videography, whatever it may be. And I just like sat on that for a while. I was kind of just procrastinating on it. Honestly, I was kind of intimidated of Dale, but I was like, I'm comfortable enough around him now. I feel like I can ask him. So I approached him one time after class. And he was like, talk about divine timing. He told me literally 2 days ago, I was talking to another professor, Sarah Shields, about starting a club about that. And I was like, that's crazy. Yeah. And that's awesome. Then he sent me your contact, and then, yeah. And now you're the event coordinator. Yeah, I am. Isn't that crazy? For 2 semesters. Yeah. What advice do you have for students that are, still trying to find that niche or that creative voice inside of them, you know, whether it be through networking, socially, you know, in their careers. What kind of driving force do you have for students trying to figure that out?
So first off, get involved with some sort of community. We have campus creators. That's one way to get involved, right? You get to meet those like-minded people, and then you get to learn stuff too. Like we do like little workshops and stuff like that, little training sessions. But then also like there's so much power behind finding that community and then growing with them. And that's something that I kind of lacked whenever I was in college, was like I was just riding solo. Like it was really hard to find that community. And so I would recommend like getting involved. We have a club literally just for that, for photographers, for videographers, for content creators. But then also just go out and do it. Like that is truly the only way you're going to get better. And I think so many people sit back and are like, oh, I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to edit photos. I don't know how to change my camera settings. And it's like, okay, we'll figure it out. Take your camera out, play with it, see, you know, how it works and stuff like that. There's also resources on social media, on YouTube, like they're everywhere. And then through our club, like that's another way you can get experience.
Yeah, that's what I always tell people, like when they're asking me for advice with that kind of stuff, just like, because I've seen like I'm involved and I kind of, you know, dabble in it, and that's a question I get a lot, like how do you do this, how do you do that? Just start. The hardest part is just starting and getting out there and doing stuff, and it's like, and
it is intimidating too, but it's like you're not gonna grow if you don't ever get out there. Because I remember like taking some of my first clients, and I personally did not feel confident asking for money. And so I was like, I want you to know, I have no idea what I'm doing. Like, I am getting experience, and so I don't expect you to pay me. But I also want you to know that, like, I want to be transparent with you that, like, you are my opportunity to learn. And I had a lot of people and clients that were like, yeah, let's do it. If they turn out crappy, well, I didn't have to pay for it, you know? Like, and so that's really how you get experience. It's just, like, going out and doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you tell your younger self? Looking back on your journey, would you change anything? Would you keep it the same?
I would probably tell myself, I'm literally about to say exactly what I just said a couple seconds ago. Just go do it.
Just go do it.
Because that was my hesitation, was like not doing it until I finally did it. And then I was like, okay, that wasn't as scary as I thought. Or like, yeah, that's a learning curve. Like now I know this in the future. But I think it kind of took me a while before I did just go and do it. Yeah. So I wish I would have started earlier, because then I'd probably be really badass.
I think about that all the time. I'm like, why didn't I just start sooner? Why didn't I just, but you can't change the past. All you can do is look forward to the future and just, you know, keep improving on where you are. In just 2 semesters, we've come a long way, you know. It's for a club that just started, we have done a lot. What are you proud of that we've done so far, like that we've accomplished, and what are your hopes for the future?
So I think I'll kind of talk about a surprise first. Is whenever me and Reese started this club, I was like, you know, we'll get a couple SJMC students, like maybe 20 students. And then it was like, all these other people heard about us. And I was like, you're in geography. How did you hear about us? Like, you're a nursing student? Like, I mean, that's freaking cool. And it's so cool to see that, like, obviously people in SJMC, like the School of Journalism, Mass Communication, are going to have some sort of creative attachment to them, whether it's like writing, photography, videography, or whatever, graphic design. But to see, like, there are other people out on campus that also have the same passions as us, that are interested in joining that community. So I was very surprised by that, but I was like so proud that I was like, we're growing really fast for just starting officially like in the spring of 2025. So yeah, I was like really excited about that, very proud about that. Also, I couldn't have asked for a better like intro officer team, like kind of piloting it, because it was like we didn't know what we were doing, like we just figured it out on the way. So for that, because like we didn't really have a foundation, like we created the foundation. And so just to kind of see how the officers like took that and ran with it and did so well, I was so proud, where I was like, this is why we're gonna blow up and like be the talk of campus, you know?
We are gonna be the talk of the
town. And so I was just so proud that I was like, the officers are killing it. There's like pretty big growth already just in the not even full 2 semesters. Like we're halfway through the fall semester, you know? But just to kind of see that growth happen so quickly, and also from different parts of campus, was really cool. I think some of my, like what I think about the club growing into in the future is like obviously like continuing to grow across campus, finding those other people to join our community. And we've kind of been testing this out a little bit, but really having like a streamlined process of connecting student creators with clients, whether they're organizations, like a personal person that's like, I want grad photos done, or a business. And we've kind of been doing that a little bit right now, where it's like a business will reach out to me and they're like, hey, I'm looking for a student creator to do XYZ. And then I pass it on to the club. So maybe having more of like a streamlined process for that, where we have like a portal or something, and then it's like the client connects with the student, and then like they do all the talking and stuff like that. Not that I don't mind passing it on to the students, but like kind of streamlining that, because we already have the demand for it. Like people are always wanting videos or photo work done. And so I'm excited to see like this club turn into like a paid opportunity for some students who jump at that opportunity, where it's like, okay, I'm learning these things, now I can go get paid for it too. Yeah, and I like that, especially about like how like they know they're reaching out to students, so they know it's not going to be like a Hollywood they're like production. Not expecting Hollywood production or anything like that. They know like we're reaching out to a student organization, but they're giving that opportunity, you know, like they're taking it with a grain of salt, but they're also knowing I'm giving this person or this student an opportunity. It's probably going to be something good if they're and our students are great already. So it's like, I'm not saying that like there's no experience there. I mean, we do have some people in the club that they have no experience, and that's why they've joined, because they want to get the experience. And these are those perfect opportunities where they can go out and kind of do like the low stakes stuff, where we just have like photo walks or something, and it's like, okay, take a picture of this, this, and this. It's like a photo scavenger hunt or something. So very low stakes opportunities where you can kind of go out and practice with a group of people. And then also the opportunities where it's like, okay, you're actually getting paid for this and you're getting experience, something you can put on your portfolio, which I think is so important to have the portfolio, because no one's going to hire you if you don't have any work. Yeah, if you don't have any work. And that's why it's like when I first started, I didn't have any work. And so I showed passion projects. I was like, I took these photos in downtown Houston. Nobody paid me, but I just did them. You can see like my street work, right? Like, so again, it's like getting that portfolio built out, even if nobody's paying you to do it and you're just doing it for fun. And it's like you can see the work. Yeah, and even if it's just a passion project, it's not a paid work. It's like it shows that you have that passion, you have the drive, you want to do it, you want to get out there, and it's just it shows that you're there to do what you want to do. Yeah, one of my favorite photography niches is taking pictures of animals. Now, are they going to pay me? Probably not. Right now, if they have an owner and they're like, yeah, we want photos with our pet, then yeah. But again, it's like, I love taking photos of animals out in the wild, and they're definitely not going to pay the bill. But it's a lot of fun, and it kind of shows like, okay, this person really likes nature, likes animals, or they're really into like street art or something like that. Like you kind of get to show your personality and what you like to do just through your portfolio. That's it for today's episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure that you subscribe and follow us on Instagram at TXST Creators. Bye. Bye. Bye.